this is our team now. As you can see, there's quite a few new faces, and we'll just go over those right now. So, transfers. We have spent £900,000. You can't see that. It is hidden behind me. But we've spent £900,000. We've brought in £12.5 million. So, in terms of our bank balance, it's looking pretty healthy. Bit of money's just gone out, we just paid for some stuff, but our projection is looking good. We've brought in a lot of frees, a lot of players that the idea being is buy to sell, bring them in, give them game time, maybe loan them out on a fee, use that as a little bit of income, but then also be able to sell them in a year or two for a profit. Also brought in a couple of experienced older players, a couple of legends of the game, as you may see, to tutor our youngsters, because what I realised is we had a load of really talented young players and not a lot of players to tutor them. So we brought in some really good players, some experienced players with the right attributes, not right personalities to tutor them. First off, we'll go through the outs. So we let Savic go, young keeper, was never really going to get any game time with us, got 2.8k for him. Zimarcus went to Lons, again, decent player, performed well. He's never really going to progress to the point that I want him to get to be challenging for European honours. He's never going to be that good. So we let him go for just under £1 million. I think it works out around £1 million with add-ons and things like that. Branko Jovicic. Now, I was umming and ahhing with it to let him go because he's got a determined personality, he's got good determination, good work rate, he's a good shooter, he's a decent defensive midfielder. But, due to some of the players that we brought in, we let him go. Really good player, but we got $3 million for him, plus, I think $3 million plus 50% of his next transfer fee. So, he's already valued at $7 million, just due to the fact that he's moved to a higher reputation league and a higher reputation team. So if he ever sells, we'll get a nice little chunk of cash back from him. Same deal with Abraham Frimpong. Again, centre-back, DM, good player, but he's at the peak of his powers. He's never going to progress any more than that. He's not the level of player that we're bringing in. We want to be improving the squad. Or if we can't improve the squad, leave space for the youngsters to come in and get some game time experience and hopefully kind of surpass the quality level that Frimpong's got. But again, $2 million plus 50% of the next sale. What I'm trying to do is on every sale that we do is add 50% of the next sale. As you can see there, he went for $2 million. He's valued at 3.3. Again, Bajinovic went for 1.4 million. Was never going to improve massively. He's already valued at 1.9 even. He's got the 50% add-on on there as well. The reason that these transfer fees are so low, bearing in mind these are higher than they were valued at the club. As you can see from the player values in general are very low. When you consider Luka Adzic is valued at 2.5 million. Anywhere else in any other bigger league, he's got a bit of an injury at the minute. He's out for another month or so. But when you consider if he was in a different league, a much higher reputation league, you'd be looking 10, 15, 20 plus million in terms of value, let alone selling price. So that's why these prices are a bit low, but we get what we can. Again, Bochy. Now, this was a bit of a tough one, because he is a bit of a goal scorer, like a proper goal scorer. 29 goals in the first season. He got himself 28 and 34 in the second season. Really good player, good goal scorer. He's a little bit inconsistent, but again, got a decent offer for him with 50% of the next transfer. Or it might just be 20% of profit with him, actually. But even so, decent bit of money, plus we've got some really, really good young striking talent. So I wanted to give him space to come into the team and progress. So, he left. Rodic has left as well, left back. Spent most of the year out with a broken leg. The fact that we got $1 million for him, I think, is quite good. But again, 50% of the next transfer fee. So he might be a future earner. If we get an extra $5 million from all these transfers added in, it can only be a good thing. We've also loaned out a few players. Blas Jimenez, who is one of the really talented young strikers. We've loaned him out. He's valued at 75k, and they're paying 40k a month for him. £40,000 a month to have him from Spartak Zlatibor. So we let him go out on loan. He's definitely going to be coming into the first team next year. We let Stankovic go out on loan again. Again, fee pay and loan. He's out for 20k a month. 10k for Zoltov, who was on the fringes of the first team, but I want him going out and getting some game time. So all these players are just bringing in a little bit of dosh per month to help with running costs. Damian Goikov as well, out on loan. We'll see how these guys progress. Maybe they'll find their way into the first team next year. On to the ins. First up, we're just going to go through it in order they happened here. So this is when the deals were struck, I think. So first off, Eric Abelai. Young left midfielder from Argentina. All my scouts and coaches absolutely love this kid. I'm struggling to see what his standout stats are, what his standout position is. Apparently he's a really good defensive winger. So we're actually going to we're going to train him as a fullback. We're going to train him as a left back. He seems to have decent stats there. He's got a decent motor on him. Good teamwork, work rate. The reason I don't want to play him a bit higher up is because he's got 3 flair and his dribbling's not awesome. So if we can get his defensive stats up a little bit, he might turn into a decent little left back in the future. Failing that, flip him for a profit. Again, came in on a free. Second up, Madsen. He came from Atromitos in the Greek Super League. This guy, I think, is a fantastic player. A perfect example of a player that is better than his star rating. I don't know whether the star rating is going to be taking into account his nationality. He's a little bit one-footed. He's not great at heading. But when you look at his actual stats, defensive stats, he's a ball-winning midfielder, so really good tackling, good marking. He's not terrible on the ball. A decent long shot, so if he has the opportunity of a ping outside the box, he's not too bad at taking it. Decent first touch, but work rate, teamwork, determination, bravery, aggression. He's got a decent engine on him. Good strength. He's 5'10". He motors around. He's 28, so he's at the peak of his powers. I just really like this guy. I think on a free, he's valued at 750k. He's on a 5k a week contract, which is kind of on the upper mid side of the contracts that we offer at the minute. We've had quite a lot of big contracts come in, so he's one of the lower earners now. But a fantastic player. Even if we move him on after 12 months and get a couple of million for him, I think he's a fantastic pickup. So yeah, Madsen's come in. First, legend, Branislav Ivanovic. Spent a few years at Zenit, barely played. We brought him in on a free. He's on a pretty big contract. He's on 15 grand a week. He did want 30 plus. So we managed to talk him down. He's a central defender now, being trained as a centre-back. He's a fantastic shooter. Great mentals. He's a really good defensive stats. He's obviously slowing down a little bit now. He's getting a bit older. He's 35. Driven personality, but really good rotation option at centre-back. And, like I say, fantastic shooter. So, really happy to bring him in. We also brought in Kenneth Mwero. I think that's how you say his name. Correct pronunciations in chat. Kenneth Mwero, 25-year-old Nigerian, came in on a free from Chelsea after spending his entire life out on loan. Standard Chelsea fare. But what a player this guy is. Great defensive stats, really good work rate, decent determination, good mentals, really good physicals. Again, just that level of player that we're looking to bring in, which is the next step. He's 25. Again, even if in a year we get some really good offers for him and our youngsters are coming through, then it's just a really good money-making exercise to make $2.5 million on a free transfer. If we don't, we've got ourselves a really good centre-back. After that, we brought in Matthew Pennington, again on a free from Everton. Similar kind of player. Really good mentals, really good physicals. His defensive stats let him down a little bit. We've got him working on his tackling really heavily. I initially brought him in with the idea of loaning him out. But with our defensive, how thin we are in defence, we'll probably have him sticking around. The only issue with having all these foreign players is there is a foreigner limit. So any non-Serbians, you can only have 4 of them in the matchday squad in the league. So it means that some of these guys are going to be getting rested quite a lot. Luckily, we've got a lot of European competitions to play. So hopefully, it's not going to cause too many issues in terms of player happiness and fitness and all that kind of stuff. But it's something we might need to keep our eye on and maybe loan a couple of players out in the January transfer window or maybe sell a couple on, something like that. But in Matthew Pennington, we've got a really good young centre-back. And England have just left the European Union, so maybe in 12 months or so, someone will be willing to pay a few million for him to bring him back. So after Matthew Pennington, we brought in Bangele for 3. We're actually into the fee-paying transfers now. So we brought in Bangele from Sao Paulo, 4.5-star defensive midfielder, Brazilian, 21-year-old, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. another really good Brazilian defensive midfielder. Again, just that next level on. He's as good as the players that left, with loads of scope to improve. So he's a cracking player. Really glad that we brought him in. Again, maybe we flip him for a profit. If not, he's 21. He's got tons and tons and tons of time to grow into his potential and be a part of the squad for a long time. After that, we brought in David Nyarko, who is a Ghanaian left-back. He's our second choice left-back at this point. He's very raw, 18 years old, 2.5-star current with a 4.5-star potential, but we're going to get him tutored. He's certainly got the building blocks of a good defensive left-back. Decent engine on him, already good in the tackle, decent marking, his crossing's not too bad. His flair's not dreadful. The teamwork and work rate are the little thing I'm worried about, but we'll see how that progresses as he gets better and gets older and gets better. But cracking little signing, cost us 105 grand. So I think of that kind of money, really good signing. We brought in Georgi Rakic for 150k. I wanted a Serbian striker to tutor players who can still do a job. So we brought him in. He can play on either flank as an inside forward. He can play up front. He can even play in attacking midfield if we need him to. He's not particularly quick. Decent mentals. He's fairly determined personality. He's got 16 determination. Good work rate. He's 33, so he's got a lot of experience. He's going to be a really good tutor for some of our younger players. We brought in Nikola Jeremic, who's a 17-year-old Serbian kid. We signed him for 350k from Kukaricki. I really like the look of this kid. Tons and tons of potential. He's, again, a very raw player, but he could turn into a really good player. I'm thinking of training him as a striker, actually. You look at his striking attributes. They're a little bit better than his midfield or playmaking attributes. But he's only 17 years old. Plenty of time to grow into the potential he's got there. And finally, the man, the myth, the legend, the 33-year-old. I can't believe he's only 33. The 33-year-old Wayne Rooney. Again, brought him in as a tutor for attacking midfielders and strikers. Amazing mentals. Still got really good technicals. His physicals are just what lets him down. He's just not got a turn of pace anymore. He has played one game and come off the bench in Europe in the qualifiers and got himself 3 goals. So if nothing else, he's an experienced head. We can have him on in midfield to control the game, open up some passes maybe. And failing that, he's still pretty decent in the box. Get the ball to his feet in the box. He's going to finish it off against, the quality of the sides that we play most of the time in the league. So if nothing else, he's just going to be a really good squad player in attacking areas. But that's it. We're still looking at the possibility of bringing in a couple of young Serbian players and looking to integrate them or have them in the under-18 squad or even just loan them straight back out. But other than that, that's the transfer business kind of done, I guess.